This program brought to you in part by the Erica Lewis Endowment Fund.
Coming up next on Varsity Quiz, it's Coronado taking on Shadow Ridge. This is Varsity Quiz. Hello and welcome to the 53rd season of Varsity Quiz, where the best and the brightest high school students are matching wits in this unique academic competition. So the road to the Silver League title continues. Here it's Coronado facing Shadow Ridge. Now Coronado finished first in their division, and their starters are, let's meet them. There's Megan. Hi, Megan.
Hi.
Mason.
Hello.
Frank.
Hi.
And Lev. Ladies and gentlemen, Coronado. Now for Shadow Ridge, they finished fourth in their division. Let's meet their players. We have Mackenzie. Hi, Mackenzie.
Hi.
Stephanie.
Hi.
Austin.
Hi.
And Casey.
Hi.
It's Shadow Ridge. Our coaches today for Coronado, Matt Aberman. For Shadow Ridge, Melissa Kilgo. You guys ready? Let's play Varsity Quiz. Barnard, Bryn Mawr, Mount Holyoke, Radcliffe, Smith, Vassar, and Wellesley colleges formed a group of elite women's colleges similar to the Ivy League before many of these schools became co-ed. So what was that group's name? I will go with Coronado, Megan.
The Seven Sisters?
Yes. Points on the board for Coronado. Here's the next question. In football, all officials wear the same shirts, pants, and hats with one exception. Which official, like the sheriff in many Western movies, wears a white cap? Shadow Ridge, Austin?
The review.
Incorrect. It's the actual referee, the chief. So no points. Next question. On May 8th of 1886, Jacob's Pharmacy served the first glass of Coca-Cola ever. In what state was this drugstore? Coronado, Frank?
Georgia.
Yes. Next is a calculation question. One night at a casino, 9% of the gamblers lost $1,000 each. 90% lost $200 each. The rest each won $10,000. So how many gamblers were involved if the casino's profit was $340,000? I'll repeat. One night at a casino, 9% of the gamblers lost $1,000 each. 90% lost $200 each, and the rest each won $10,000. How many gamblers were involved if the casinos, we're going to go with Coronado, Frank?
200.
Incorrect. And that's time. We're looking for 2,000 gamblers. Next question. In what part of the world did American military forces first engage units of the Wehrmacht during World War II? It was North Africa. Next question. On Sunday, December 21 of 1913, in the New York World, they debuted something that's become a fixture of newspapers. What was it? Shadow Ridge, Mackenzie?
Crossword?
Yes. Points on the board for Shadow Ridge. Next question. What do Germans call a pot roast that's marinated in vinegar, wine, and spices before it's cooked? Shadow Ridge, Mackenzie?
Sauerbraten?
Yes. Next question. What's the common name of the mineral used to manufacture wallboard? Its scientific name, calcium sulfate dihydrate. Shadow Ridge, Austin?
Gypsum.
Yes. In which Spanish city Magellan's departure point is home to the world's biggest flamenco event and the titular setting for Rossini's most famous opera? Coronado, Mason?
Seville.
Yes. An athlete's aerobic capacity and endurance can be improved by boosting the number of erythrocytes in the circulatory system. This is a practice called what? Shadow Ridge, Austin?
Blood doping.
Yes. Next question. Name the practice of a leaseholder renting all or part of a property to another party. Coronado, Frank?
Subleasing.
Can we accept that? Yes. What is synonymous with the phenomenon called either crustal rebound or post-glacial rebound? Did you get in time? Okay, we were looking for isostatic rebound. Next question. What names the official notice from an intelligence agency that an agency or asset is considered compromised or unreliable? Not enough spy novel reading. It's a burn notice. Next question is a calculation question. James Cricket hops 5 meters due east, then 3 meters due south. The magnitude of his displacement from the starting point is the square root of what number of meters? Coronado, Frank.
34 meters.
Yes. Which mountains surround the Transylvania region? Coronado, Frank.
Carpathian?
Yes. If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. It's good advice that comes from which rabbit in which 1942 Disney film? Coronado, Mason?
Bambi?
Yes. Nashville's permanent art gallery and a spectacular 42-foot high gold-covered statue of the goddess Athena Parthenos. They're in a Tennessee structure that's a life-size replica of what famous building on the Acropolis? That's Shadow Ridge. Austin?
The Pantheon?
No? Coronado, Lev?
The Parthenon?
Yes. The name of what southern Asian country and home of the prehistoric Indus Valley civilization comes from the Pashto and Persian words meaning land of the pure? Coronado, Lev?
Pakistan?
Yes. Which of the two major divisions of the skeleton consist of the pectoral girdles, the pelvic girdle, and such bones as the humerus, tibia, tarsals, and phalanges? Shadow Ridge, Austin?
Your legs?
Incorrect. Coronado, Mason?
The torso?
No, we're looking for the appendicular skeleton. Next question. Aside from Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, name one of the other 3 European countries in which German is the official language. Coronado, Frank?
Czech Republic?
Incorrect. Shadow Ridge, Mackenzie?
Sweden.
No, we're looking for Belgium, Luxembourg, or Liechtenstein. No points. Next question. Hiram Bingham is especially noted for his explorations in which Latin American country? Coronado, Mason?
Venezuela?
Incorrect. Shadow Ridge, Austin?
Argentina?
No, he was all over Peru. Next question is a calculation question. If $3,500 is invested in an account that generates a 9% return compounded monthly, how much will the account have after 4 years? Repeating, investment of $3,500 in an account that generates a 9% return compounded monthly, how much will the account have after 4 years? That's Coronado, Mason.
$7,000?
Incorrect. We're looking for $5,009.92. Next question. Penobscot Bay is part of what U.S. state? Shadow Ridge, Casey?
Texas?
No. Coronado, Frank?
California?
No, it's Maine. Fat molecules consist primarily of what 3 elements? Coronado, Mason?
Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen?
Yes. What 9-digit numbers begin with these digits? 159 to 211, Pennsylvania. 525 to 585, New Mexico. 575 to 576. We'll go with Coronado, Frank.
Phone numbers?
Incorrect, and that's an interrupt. 575 to 576 Hawaii, 050 to 134 New York, 008 to 009 Vermont, and 574 Alaska. Shadow Ridge, Austin?
Area codes?
No, those are Social Security numbers. That's the end of round 1, but before we take a break, let's get to know our players a little bit more. We're going to start with the students from Coronado. We first say hello to 12th grader Megan. Hi, Megan.
Hi.
It says here that you already have a job. Where are you working?
I'm working at CJ's Italian Ice and Custard.
So what do you guys do there? Obviously Italian ice and custard, but do you make the stuff? Do you
Yes.
Okay. Well, good luck with that, and good luck here on Varsity Quiz. Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.
Here's 11th grader Mason. Hi, Mason.
Hello.
Tell me about the Future Medical Professionals Club.
So Future Medical Professionals is a club where they sort of prepare you to see what it's like to be a doctor. They quiz you on anatomy knowledge, but they also organize the school blood drive.
Well, good luck with that. And good luck here in Varsity Quiz. Thanks, Mason.
Thank you.
Here's 11th grader Frank. Hi, Frank.
Hi.
Nice to see you here. It says you got a couple of new pets. What'd you get?
Ooh, yeah, my family got a couple of frogs in the past couple months.
How many frogs?
2 in a tank.
Okay. Well, good luck to the frogs, and good luck to you on Varsity Quiz. Here's 12th grader Lev. Hey, Lev.
Hello.
Good to see you. You wrote down that something unfortunate happened to you, but that you're better now. What happened?
Yeah, I got into a bike accident and I crashed and it was not good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're here, and I hope everything works for you.
Thank you.
And good luck here on Varsity Quiz. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our team from Coronado. Now we're going to meet our players from Shadow Ridge. We start with 11th grader Mackenzie. Hi, Mackenzie.
Hi.
Good to see you here. You must be a huge Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
You have an amazing statistic here. Do you remember what you wrote?
Yeah, I've read the Harry Potter books over 30 times, the entire series.
Wow. I mean, do you find anything new, or you just can't, you just think it's so great that you just keep reading it?
It's just the nostalgia. It
Okay.
just keeps me coming back.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed Harry Potter. Hope you enjoy Varsity Quiz. Good luck. Here's 12th grader Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie.
Hello.
Good to see you. It says here that you are really good at something. You remember what you wrote?
No.
It says that you are good at 3D printing.
Oh, yeah.
What do you make?
All kinds of things. You can make stuff to use around your house.
I mean, what's the oddest thing that people would think that you made out of a 3D printer?
The oddest thing? I 3D printed a little sheep.
Okay, well, there you go. Good luck with the 3D printing. Good luck on Varsity Quiz. Thank you, Stephanie. Here's 12th grader Austin. Hey, Austin.
How you doing?
Tell me about cyber security. That's a subject you can study at school?
It is. They started implementing it around CCSD in the past couple years, and it's starting to gain a lot of traction.
And you're into it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, maybe you'll protect us all in the future. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Good luck here on Varsity Quiz. Thanks, Austin. Here's 12th grader Casey. Hi, Casey.
Hi.
Says here you like to hang out in the kitchen.
Yeah.
What, do you have a favorite thing to cook, or do you just cook anything?
I really like cooking pasta and spaghetti. Those are like my 2 favorite things.
I'll be over later.
Okay.
Good luck with the cooking and good luck on Varsity Quiz. Ladies and gentlemen, our team from Shadow Ridge. And our bonus round is coming right up. All right, we're going into round 2. The score Coronado with 45 points to Shadow Ridge's 20. Want to introduce a couple of new players, actually one for each team. For Coronado, we say hello to Mira. Hi, Mira.
Hi.
Nice to have you here. Shadow Ridge has a new player. That's Blake. Hi, Blake.
Hi.
Nice to have you here. Now, this round is timed at 6 minutes. Time starts as I read this question. Which member of the American Film Institute's list of the 50 greatest villains said, "I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me, and I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen"? Coronado, Mason.
How?
Yes, from the movie 2001. Bonus questions now for Coronado only. Answer the following questions about villains. First, the highest ranking woman on that list at number 4 was in a movie that took viewers over the rainbow. Second, at the top of the list sat a character who disappeared after telling Clarice Starling, "I'm having a friend for dinner." Who were these characters?
And Wicked Witch of the West first? All right, first answer, Wicked Witch of the West. Second answer, Hannibal Lecter.
Both are correct. You've got bonus points. Now this question for both teams. Which Washington Irving story features a greedy, selfish miser named Walker and another character referred to as Old Scratch or the Black Man? Coronado, Mason.
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow?
Incorrect. It's The Devil and Tom Walker. No points. We move to the next question for both teams. The 2022 Olympic Winter Games opened February 4th in Beijing. During the Parade of Nations, which country went into the stadium first? Coronado, Frank.
Afghanistan?
Incorrect. Shadow Ridge, Austin.
China.
No, it's Greece. They always come in first. So no bonus questions. We move on to the next question for both teams. It's a calculation question, students. Point A is -1, 4. Point B sits at 3, 2. What's the distance between the 2 points? Repeating, point A is -1, 4. Point B is 3. We'll go with Coronado. Mason?
2 times the square root of 5 units?
Yes. We have bonus calculation questions now for Coronado only. How many quarter-inch by quarter-inch squares will fit in a 3-inch by 3-inch box? And second, root 8 plus root 32 plus root 50 in simplest form. I'll repeat them all now. First question, how many quarter-inch by quarter-inch squares fit in a 3-inch by 3-inch box? And second, what is the square root of 8 plus the square root of 32 plus the square root of 50 in simplest form?
First answer, 144. Second answer, 11 root 2.
Yes, you got them both right. You got bonus points. Now this next question for both teams. What names the process by which cold, often nutrient-rich water from the ocean depths rises to the surface? That's Shadow Ridge. Austin?
Circulation.
No? It's called upwelling. Next question for both teams. In one of his famous paintings, Peter Paul Rubens depicts which Greek titan chained to a rock beneath a tree with a large eagle standing on him pecking at an open wound? Coronado Mason.
Prometheus.
Yes, bonus questions now for Coronado only. Answer the following about mythology. First, name the Egyptian god, the son of Isis and Osiris, most often depicted as a falcon-headed man. Second, name the mythological Greek who helped his wife escape Hades only to lose her after almost succeeding.
Cool.
You have 10 seconds.
First answer, Horus. Second answer, Orpheus.
Both are correct. You got bonus points. Next question for both teams. Which form of hepatitis can be contracted by consuming raw seafood? Coronado Mason.
Hepatitis B.
Incorrect. Ridge, Casey?
Hepatitis A.
Yes. Bonus questions now for Shadow Ridge only about the digestive system. First, approximately how long is an adult's small bowels or intestines? Second, which organ's primary function is to aid in the digestion of fats? You have 10 seconds.
30 feet is what we're going to go with.
First answer, 18 feet. Second answer, pancreas.
Both are incorrect. We're looking for 22 feet and gallbladder. So no bonus points, but you get points for the first question. And now this question for both teams. During the last years of the Roman Republic, a group composed of Gaius Julius Caesar, Pompey the Great, and Marcus Crassus effectively ruled. What was that group called? Coronado Mason?
The triumvirate.
Can we accept that? We cannot accept that. We're looking for the first triumvirate. Next question. Which monarch's coronation came a few days after Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay reached the summit of Mount Everest? Coronado Frank?
Queen Elizabeth II.
Yes. Bonus questions now for Coronado only about the monarchy. First, which Norman king ordered the construction of the first structure at the site of Windsor Castle in 1066? Second, in April of 2011, who earned the dubious honor of becoming the longest-serving heir apparent to the British throne? You got 10 seconds.
Prince Phil.
No, it's not her husband. It'll be her son, who is Charles. All right. First answer, William the Conqueror. Second answer, Prince Charles.
Both are correct. You got bonus points. Now this last question is a calculation question. Students, what is the sum of -1 to the -3rd power and 2 to the -3rd power? Repeating, what's the sum of -1 to the -3rd power and 2 to the -3rd power? Coronado Mason?
-7/8.
Yes. Bonus questions now for Coronado only. They are calculation questions. First, factor AX plus BY plus AY plus BX. And a polygon with 27 diagonals has how many sides? Repeating, factor AX plus BY plus AY plus BX. Second, a polygon with 27 diagonals has how many sides? You have 10 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. First answer, A plus B times X plus Y. Second answer, 8.
The first one's correct. The second one, the correct answer was 9. So you get some bonus points. And our speed round is next. All right, we're going into round 3. The score, Coronado's got 115 points to Shadow Ridge's 25. But seriously, anything can happen here in this speed round. Want to introduce a couple of new players for Coronado. There's Marie. Hi, Marie.
Hi.
And Adrian. Hi, Adrian.
Hello.
Good luck. And Shadow Ridge has a returning player. Mackenzie's back. Hey, Mackenzie, welcome back.
Hi.
Which member of the Las Vegas City Council is a candidate to be the Republican Party's nominee for governor of Nevada? Shadow Ridge, Casey?
Adam Laxid.
Who?
Adam Laxid.
No, that's incorrect. It's Michelle Fiore. Next question. An anagram for Clint Eastwood is Old West what? It's a lot to think about. Action. Next question. Nigel Bruce, Martin Freeman, Edward Hardwick, and Jude Law have all played which literary doctor in various movies and TV shows? Coronado, Frank?
Dr. Doolittle?
No? That's after the buzzer. It is John Watson, Dr. Watson. Next question. The three most translated individual authors in history are Agatha Christie, William Shakespeare, and which French novelist, poet, and playwright who died in 1905? Coronado, Frank?
Victor Hugo?
No? Ridge, Casey?
Mary Shelley.
No, we're looking for Jules Verne. Next question. How many revolutions does the crankshaft make during a power cycle in a two-stroke engine? Shadow Ridge, Mackenzie?
5.
No? It's 1. Next question. In 1779, under the direction of which Spanish missionary was California's first sustained vineyard established at Mission San Diego? Not into the vineyards, it's Junipero Cerro. Next question is a calculation question we don't repeat in the third round. A Greek stadion equaled 622 feet. So there are 18.3 inches in a cubit. To the nearest whole number, how many cubits did a stadion contain? It was 4,000, I make that 408. All right, the original Murderer's Row described the 1927 lineup of which professional baseball team? Coronado, Frank?
New York Yankees.
Yes, sir. Which movie set in Las Vegas told the slightly fictionalized story of Frank Lefty Rosenthal and Tony the Ant Spilatro? Coronado, Marie?
Casino?
Yeah, you got to see that movie. Which grain is the staple food for more than half of the world's population? Coronado, Mira?
Rice.
Yes. The U.S. Senate contains 50 Republicans, 48 Democrats, and 2 independents. One of those is Bernie Sanders, so who's the other? Ridge, Casey?
Senator King. Senator King.
Yes. Transported loose earthy materials called ablation till come from a blank. Coronado, Adrian?
Glacier.
Yes. What kind of chemical bond is usually indicated by an electronegative difference greater than 1.7? Coronado, Adrian?
Ionic.
Yes. Make that Santee, Yankton, and Teton represent the 3 primary divisions of which tribe? That's the Sioux or the Dakota. Next, which unit equals 1 Newton meter? Coronado, Frank?
A joule?
Yes. A term for high-spirited behavior, mischief, or dishonest activities is shenanigans. Spell. Coronado, Mira.
SHENANIGANS.
Yes. What term names a device that allows a wheel to turn in only one direction? Coronado, Mira.
Axle.
No? Ridge, Mackenzie?
Stopper?
No, it's a ratchet. Next, a calculation question. Express as a base 12 numeral the year in which George W. Bush moved into the White House. That's a tough one, 11A. Next, snails and slugs are gastropods. That term comes from 2 Latin words meaning foot and what else? Coronado, Mira?
Stomach.
Yes. The suffragettes were famous for wearing what color clothing? Ridge, Casey?
Red.
No? Coronado Mira?
Gray.
No, they wore white. Which type of motion results when an external force acts on the axis of a spinning body? Coronado Frank?
Torque.
No? Ridge Austin?
Centripetal.
No, we're looking for precession. In honor of Black History Month, what colors are lighting up the Welcome to Las Vegas sign? Coronado Marie?
Red and green.
No? Ridge Casey?
Red, green, and black.
Yes. What country lies on the eastern shore of the Tyrrhenian Sea? Coronado Frank?
Italy.
Yes. What kind of motor derives its power from a pressurized fluid? Coronado Frank?
Hydraulic.
Yes. In the Middle Ages, what did a cooper make and repair? Coronado Frank?
Barrels.
Yes. If you arrange the words in journalism's 5W formula alphabetically, which one comes in last? That's Ridge. Blake?
Why?
Yes. Unfortunately, we're out of time, so let's find out who won. All right, the final score today, Coronado 170 to Shadow Ridge's 40. Want to say thank you to both teams, an excellent match, and congratulations to Coronado on the win. We invite you to tune in next week. Green Valley is going to be taking on Clark. That ought to be a pretty exciting matchup on Varsity Quiz, right here on Vegas PBS.